back on. How you guys doing? Okay. So Eva had a few questions before we went to break. Now this has turned too much for you guys to see. But I refreshed my recall on our gut serotonin question. Some interesting details that I came up with that I thought you might appreciate with me was the amount of serotonin of the entire body that is produced and consumed in the gut is around 95%, meaning only 5% of our serotonin is being used elsewhere by most estimates. I did see some numbers that were saying more like 90, but it was like the vast, vast, vast majority of our serotonin is functioning on the intestinal level. That's pretty cool.
So if you have like tummy problems, the opposite of happy, basically.
Yeah, it's complex. So the part of why this is we actually have a separate, the enteric nervous system. It's like obviously not a closed nervous system completely of its own, but it is pretty self-contained, and its interface with the rest of the nervous system is relatively like kind of less than you would expect. Like it's doing a lot of its own function without having to consult the central nervous system and keeping those like reflexes inside of that system. So it has a big impact on the way that we feel, but it's also getting a lot of stuff done independently. So what the serotonin is doing in the gut largely is impacting the motility. So you remember that peristalsis is the slow rolling movement of the intestines. So it's kind of coming through in these waves, pushing the chyme from that like looser form to gradually get it to pass all of those cilia and migrate through. And so the motility of that the muscle tissue of the intestines is getting a lot of direct instruction from serotonin. Also the mucus, so the epithelial lining, which is protecting the surface of the interior of the intestines from getting sheared away or like too much friction from those passing food particles, and kind of just giving it that glossy protective layer. That level of mucus is being mediated by serotonin as well. And the sensitivity in terms of nociception and just sensation of how much information the nervous system is turning into actual sensation as it's picking up info, how much of it can be managed subconsciously versus how much gets turned into conscious registerable sensation that then we experience, is also being mediated. And so like imbalances of gut serotonin is going to affect pretty much everything that's happening in the lower digestive system. Some interesting information that I found that's like relatively new research is how much we're just starting to come to understand the interface between the microbes and the serotonin production level. There was a little while where we thought maybe the serotonin was actually being produced by the microbes, and there is some kind of like paraendocrine function happening there. Like microbes can make serotonin, but we're not, turns out, seeing the bulk of this serotonin being like actually just an effect of microbes. But there is a really interesting symbiotic relationship between the way that we're producing serotonin and actions that the microbes are taking, and that's still very much under exploration in the research. So that was kind of a fun little side quest. Something else that this information recalled to me was the idea that really low gut serotonin is going to be correspondent with, may or may not be exactly causative, but is going to correspond with more of a constipated tendency in the digestive system. And really high serotonin is going to correspond with more of a tendency towards diarrhea.
That's interesting because like the low serotonin you'd associate with perhaps depression or some other like anti-regulated emotional state, but
Yeah.
that is all from the biome. It's not from the
Right.
hormones in the brain.
But this is like ambient as well, that the levels of serotonin inside of the gut is going to be reflected in the like mood impacting level of neurotransmission that's happening in the brain as well. Like you're not going to have cases where somebody has really high serotonin in the gut and really low serotonin in the brain, or vice versa. They're going to like rise and fall relatively together.
But the problem could originate in the gut.
Yes. And especially this like microbes question is really interesting to me, and I've seen like a lot of different kind of speculation go back and forth in like the neurodiversity communities, where they're looking at like the really strong tendency for there to be like irritable bowel syndrome kind of impacts alongside of neurodiverse conditions, and like especially autism, where they're looking at the possibility that like really large gut flora imbalances may be caused or may be causing certain neurological effects that are getting picked up and read all the time. There's a really interesting idea of early auto intoxication that, if you're curious about that, is kind of a fascinating rabbit hole. But this is the idea that basically like if the microbiomes are imbalanced such that there is a little bit too high level of alcohol being produced in the gut in early childhood, that you can have like this really subtle depressive effect on development that like we would have a really difficult time reading what exactly that could account for in later behavior or behavioral concerns, mental health concerns. So it's kind of interesting. Okay. I think it's always great to follow your curiosity when something bubbles up. It tends to be like what you'll remember more, you know, when you get one of those little flags of curiosity. And I don't know, maybe some of you will end up doing quite a lot of abdominal work, or go into a direction of kind of interfacing your body work with, say, nutrition coaching or some of these other health coaching kind of positions where you could be coming alongside people from a few different angles at once. Well, the backlighting is terrible now. Sorry. All right, that's adequate. Let's carry on with a little bit more general review. I'm going to give you guys like a moment to sync all of that and just kind of scan your systems for any questions that you may have hiding in the background. But I'll also pull out the exams so that we can go over some of those theoretical exam questions. Okay. Thanks. Cool. Any other thoughts? I'm giving you a second.
So you have a lot of graduates that have finished their apprenticeship that haven't taken the test.
Yeah,
Why
seems
is that?
like that is happening right now. I'm
You'd
not
think that
sure
somebody
if,
would, as soon as they finish their apprenticeship, would be like, okay,
yeah,
let me go. I'm
yeah,
ready to go.
totally.
But they're not ready to go.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think like Marco and I will be kind of reviewing that pretty soon when we have our next like overview sit down. But what I'm hearing from kind of the broader massage therapy community is that it's actually super quick now once you do the exam itself. And so like I'm not sure what is the hang up on getting the exam scheduled and taken versus like if that's inside of that system being complicated, because it's really different from when I took it at this point. But what we're hearing is that once the exam is passed, the turnaround is a lot faster on getting your credentials in hand. So hopeful to see how that plays out. But again, it was like really in the last year that the examination structure changed so much. So our group has been not too many people so far that had to go up against that. But I'd like to get more information on that for sure.
What does the physical license look like? The little ID
Oh,
card?
great question. The physical license looks like you have to print it yourself.
Is it like the cosmetologist license that they put on the wall at the hair salon?
You definitely should print it out and like make it available. Mine is like in a binder that if anybody asks about my credentials, I have like everything in a packet. You can frame it and put it on a wall if you want. But basically it, once you have passed and been approved, then they'll assign your license number and you'll log into the DCCA website, which is the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. And they'll have you as a licensed therapist with your therapist number. You can look yourself up and like register as yourself, kind of connect it to your email and give it a password or whatever. And then once you're inside of that system, you just download a PDF and you can print out however many of them you want. And there's a full-sized one that's your general license, which has the start date of your licensing on it, and then there's like a wallet size kind of printout that has the current licensing dates that go through. You know, so every 2 years you're renewing and you're getting another batch of dates, and so you'll download that wallet size again and print that out.
So that number is for anything that's continuing education. I saw like online, if you want to take a course, you would like just enter that license number.
Yeah, that like there's not a system like the state isn't maintaining a system where they're keeping a list of your continuing education under your license number, but you can give the instructors your license number and then they can like keep a file to keep track of it if you need to like get verification again after the fact that you did that. But again, like the way that the state is handling it, to my understanding currently, is on a random audit basis. So like what we're expecting right now, and this is not super uncommon in other states, it's kind of like this in Washington too. It's not like you submit your packet of all of your continuing ed every 2 years. It's like you check a box or like initial a signature frame or whatever when you're paying your next license fee that you did it, and hypothetically anybody could get audited at random and have to prove that they actually have those continuing ed credits.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad system.
It's a new system, and I'm not going to argue with you that it's a good system. I'm not going to die on that hill. Yeah.
They would do that at the bar. They would send in someone to get a drink from corporate, whatever.
Right? Yeah. These are great questions. Okay, so I'm feeling you guys are starting to like have more of that forward-looking curiosity, wondering about what might be next in your progressional process. Yeah. Yep. We got some funny comments. Do you want to hear our funny comments?
Yeah.
Sure.
Jamie Ravioli says, beautiful feet.
Oh no.
Uno says, Jimmy, your dad, to the weird shit. This was not Pornhub. I got your back, trans. Then we've got Smiley Techie saying hi, hi. And Uno said, had a typo. Hope I didn't ruin the moment. No, I really appreciate that. Actually, Uno. The dude was just inappropriate. Anyway, checking in from College Park, Georgia. Hope all is well with you all. Hi, College Park, Georgia. We've never actually read the comments before, ever. So, yeah, totally. You want to come say hi? You're like, no, I don't want to say hi.
Oh, you're College Park, Maryland. Your soulmates.
Oh, College Park.
College Park.
Woo, woo. Yep, there's 2 people right now. I mean, it's like very much not a big deal. Everybody relax. We're okay. All right. So, do you want to do some questions?
Yes, please.
All right. And
Oh man.
obviously, you can interrupt
Gotta
with.
emotionally prepare for it.
Got emotionally prepare for questions. All right. There's not too much more. Oh. Uno says he's 15 minutes from Atlanta.
Nice.
Sweet. Let's go with. I'll start out here. The elbow is what to the shoulder?
Distal.
Everybody happy with that? You don't even want to hear the
No.
the possible answers. Awesome. A, proximal, B, medial, C, distal, D, lower. Excellent. C, distal. How much is the maximum fine that any person, I want to skip this one because it might have changed. But as of when this test was printed, apparently the maximum fine under Chapter 452 was $5,000. So that would have been like a egregious licensing violation.
Is it jail time too?
Huh?
Is it jail time too or
No. No, yeah, there's no jail time related to our licenses. There's only jail time related to crimes. So don't do crimes in your massage room.
No jail time. That's good.
Yeah,
I guess.
mainly like they can assess fines, they can revoke your license, they can fine you for practicing without a license, they can fine you for not paying fines. Basically, they can like throw bills at you until you're blue in the face. But you can never go to jail for being a massage therapist. Only for criminals.
Lying the shovel on the wall.
Right? Awesome. Okay. Darn it, I just lost my spot. Doo, doo, doo. Okay, what is a foramen?
Oh, it's a hole that nerves travel through, or it's just a hole.
Great start.
It's a puka.
How do you spell that?
Foramen, Foramen. Do you want to hear the list?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got A, hole, B, depression, C, fracture, D, covering. Eva's got a strong instinct.
Hole.
Everybody good with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, a foramen is a hole, a passageway. Okay, where is hemoglobin found?
In the blood.
In what blood?
Hemoglobin. Globin.
You want to hear the options?
Yeah, let's hear.
All right. A, in the white blood cells. B, in blood platelets. C, in red blood cells. D, in blood serum.
I'm going to say in red blood cells.
Okay.
I was gonna say in white blood cells.
What's C?
C, in red blood cells.
What's the platelets?
D, B was in blood platelets. Where is hemoglobin? What is hemoglobin for, you guys?
You write that down.
I thought
Chemo. What is it?
blood globe, so it's like the type of white blood
Okay.
cell that can help with everything.
Okay, I'm gonna give you hema. In this case, is iron.
Oh, then red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hemoglobin. Yeah, it's the iron that allows us to grab oxygen because it's literally oxidizing the iron that we're getting that redness from the rust of the oxygen molecule attaching onto the blood cell. Okay, so we've got,
Does hemo always indicate red?
not necessarily, but it pretty much always indicates iron.
Okay.
Okay, so that was a C, red blood cell. What fluid other than blood is used to drain the body? The way they wrote that.
Drain the body.
A, endoplasmic fluid. B, chyme. C, cerebrospinal fluid. D, lymph.
Lymph.
Yeah, you guys got it. Okay. What does the latissimus dorsi do?
It that's right here. Oh wait, it's this back one. This is
Yeah.
lens. So it
Get that concept?
ducts.
You want to hear the options?
Yes.
Okay. A, draws arms backward. B, flexes the back. C, extends the back. D, bilateral flexion of back.
Bilateral.
Bilateral.
Wait, flexion?
That's true.
I would say it extends because it contracts when you extend. I would say like bilateral because this is back. Back flexion. That decreases the angle. I'm gonna say C.
You want to say
That's what I.
C. Do you want to hear them again?
Yes.
Okay. A, draws arms backward. B, flexes the back. C, extends the back. D, bilateral flexion of the back. What is one latissimus dorsi doing?
Well, just one.
One of it is doing this.
So you can't do bilateral.
Yeah, that would be a little strange.
So it's not D.
And
Arms, that's two arms. Can't be that one.
well,
What?
they're on either side.
It could
But
do
it's just
it
more so
one
the
at a
ducts
time.
and like the traps. So I think it's extension of the back.
Or the deltoids would be drawing arms back.
Well, no,
So
not
it's
drawing.
already-
It's the latissimus.
Yeah. We're talking latissimus dorsi. Eva's just writing off deltoids and traps are accounting for that action, but are they really?
No, not really.
All right.
Dang
It is really kind of confusing because like they put dorsi, which really makes you feel like it's about the back, into the name of this muscle. But out of these actions, where's our upper attachment on that latissimus dorsi?
It's by like C.
We're getting into
Oh,
the head of the humerus.
So it is arm.
It is drawing arms back.
And they did
That was
say
so
dorsi,
jolly.
Which isn't that two of them or more than one?
Dorsi would just be like dorsal, like on the
Oh,
dorsal
okay.
surface.
What
Yeah.
is back extension? What would that even look like?
Back extension, yeah, exactly, would be the spine opening this way. Inflection would be that way.
So
yeah.
lats don't even assist in that?
I mean, not that they're not engaging during those movements, but
More this.
that's what we got. Drawing arms back. So thinking of like kind of rowing action, you're gonna get a lot of lat activation.
I should have thought about lats. This.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Which is the bone of the foot? What the?
The hallicus. Yeah. Well, there's a calcaneus.
Mm-hmm.
There's the cuboid. There's a bunch of bones. There's the talus. There's the cuneiforms, phalanges, metatarsals, tarsals.
You don't hear the options?
Let's hear the option.
All right. A, carpals. B, tibia.
Nope.
C, metatarsals.
Yep.
D, fibula.
To the metatarsals.
Oh, that got easier. Process of elimination, yeah. Okay. What is the action called when one or more muscles assist the prime mover?
Well, that's called,
Assisted movement.
let's hear the option.
Let's hear the options. I'd love to give you like a moment to reflect, but we can absolutely always go to the options. All right. A, active assistance. B, synergy. C, complementary grouping. D, sympathetic induction.
Active assisting would be if you are. I thought if it was like two people that are activating the muscles. And then you
Excellent.
have someone
Active
else help you.
assistance is the therapist's job, not the muscle's job.
So
Eliminate
the rest of
A.
it sounds so bad.
All right, let's have them again. B, synergy. C, complementary grouping. D, sympathetic induction.
Complementary grouping.
I'm kind of feeling B, synergy.
Feel it more.
It's synergistic, moving together to help each other. Synergy.
But
Yeah.
the question is, what is the muscle called? So you wouldn't call a muscle synergy, right?
The muscle is not called, it's not the question.
Oh, let's get the question
What-
again.
oh, what is it?
What is the action called
Oh,
when
it's
one or
action.
more muscles assist the prime mover?
I'm sticking with B.
Karen likes B.
Yeah, it's not complementary grouping.
A, active assistance. B, synergy. C, complementary grouping. D, sympathetic induction.
Not sympathetic.
Kaimi is feeling strongly about synergy. Am I seeing you this afternoon, Kaimi?
Yeah.
I'm on your schedule again. Booyah. I feel like a winner. Right? This is great.
I'll say synergy. I got.
I like synergy.
Synergy. All right.
Peer pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, I got peer pressure.
Synergy.
But I think
Synergy
it's
is great. All right.
synergy.
Let's do one more. Yes, it's synergy. Nicely done, everybody. I always look at these and I'm like,
Yours are
I
good.
should absolutely just be sure. The way the phrasing is confusing even for me sometimes. Okay. Synovial fluid. A, lubricates joints. B, surrounds the brain. C, is spinal cord fluid. D, lubricates muscles.
Spinal cord.
Brain.
Brain?
Oh, I'm glad we're working on this.
Synovial. I know that.
Synovial, like
Synovial. Synovial. Synovial.
It's not muscle.
It's not muscle. Yep.
It's not muscle. It's synovial fluid. I thought was the
like either brain or spine.
spine.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Let's hear the options again.
All right. A, lubricates joints.
That's what I like. I like lubricating the joints.
So the bursa is in between joints, right? Oh, and it's synovial.
Yeah, we need an extra second to let that shake through. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
Synovial fluid. Lubricants joints.
Synovial fluid
Yes.
lubricates joints.
Synovial fluid lubricates joints. All right, you guys just blew through. That was like 6, and you worked them all out. Awesome. Cool. Would you guys like if I just read some of these on a video?
Yeah.
Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Or just be able to play it in the background or whatever while you do dishes?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
100%.
I can work on that. Try to get that connected for you guys. Yeah, why not? I don't see why not. Okay, let's go ahead and center in and cycle out for today. Got changes happening all around. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Find your way into the body. Settle in. Grab that nice deep breath and really find and feel the diaphragm. And anchor deeply into that waving motion, bringing that energy. And this time, let's just focus on using that pattern. Now you've practiced it for so long, it feels really natural and comfortable to scan the body, pulling that energy up through the feet, knees, hips, shoulders, head, crown, crashing back down. And this time, let's just build up the energy in your hands. So every time that you bring the wave up over the crown and back down into the hands, just allow the sensation of your hands to stay a bit heightened as you continue to compound and build upon that sensation. Keep it synchronized with the breath. And let that awareness, that empowered energy bring alignment and smooth out your own body. Let it override any distractions for just a few more sweeps. As that sensation in your hands elevates and elevates. And maybe go ahead and rub it together. Let it connect, jump across. And you feel it passing from one hand to the next. We can play with that a little more next time. But for today, just hold that sensation that you can turn up your awareness, turn up your energetic draw, and let it just finish and build into the hands. With that sense of awe and gratitude, a love for the complex systems of the human body, for your own body. Build up with that appreciation. And return to the surface of the skin, return to the room, and join us. And we'll carry on today. Have a great break and enjoy your afternoon classes. And I'll see you guys next week still. I'm going to hang out with you for a little bit in the afternoon on Thursday at the end of your last phase 1 class. All right. Thank you. Yes.